Welcome to this very quick introduction for the online research guide developed by the Evans Library Librarians for students taking NUR 207 during the summer 2012 sessions. There's a lot of information, a lot of pages on this guide. The biggest thing I want to point out is over here on the right hand side, the 5 easy ways to contact a librarian. You can chat with a librarian by typing in your questions right here, hitting send. You can text an Evans Library Librarian using that number right there. You can actually come in and talk to us in person when we're open. You can give us a call, and finally you can also email us. So anytime you have any questions about this guide or any research that you're doing for this course, please use one of these 5 ways to contact a librarian. Since there is a lot of information in this research guide, I'm not going to highlight every tab, but I am going to take you through some of the important ones. So the first one is useful books. So when I select useful books, what we've done is selected some of the books, particularly the reference books, which means they're always here in the library, that are going to be available to you whenever the library is open. So you can come in and use these books in the library, and they're all related to drugs, to nursing, to healthcare, and they're a nice resource besides your textbook if you have an assignment that requires you to go out and get information from another book besides your textbook. The next tab I'm going to show you is finding and using internet sources. Some of the assignments you have for your pharmacology course may ask you to go on the internet and find information about drugs or drug therapies. We've selected as librarians 3 websites. They're over here on the left hand side of this page that we think are reliable, accurate, and credible sites dealing with drugs. You may find other ones depending on your specific assignment or your specific drug that you think are useful. What you might want to do when you find those websites is just apply some of the criteria of the aspects system, which basically means just ask some questions. Who is the author of this website? Do you know anything about the author? Can you find credentials? Is the information being presented as fact, or are they trying to sell you something? Have they updated this information recently? Are they covering every aspect of the drug? So some basic questions that are important to ask of any source you're looking at, but particularly when you're looking at websites. The next thing I'm going to point out is the tab for APA citation help. So I'm going to select that tab. And in the APA citation help are various tips and tools and sites that can make using the APA citations format a little bit easier. So on the left hand side under APA tutorials are 3 links. The first link is where that pre and post test that your instructor is going to ask you to take is located. Underneath that is a link for setting up your paper in an APA format using Microsoft Word 2010, and below that is a reminder link, that's a quick tutorial on using in-text citations following the APA format. The next thing I want to show you is a new tool the Evans Library has that's called EasyBib. So I'm going to open that up and walk you through some of the tips within EasyBib. So this is what EasyBib looks like when we click on the link in your research guide that open up this page. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you're using the correct citation style. So select APA, and the default is to cite a website, but EasyBib really works for just about any source you can find. So a book, a newspaper, a journal, an academic database through the library, an interview, a pamphlet, a brochure, any information source that you find, you should be able to determine the correct citation format using EasyBib. So let's assume that I do want to cite a website. I'm going to need the URL or the address of that website. So using this website, drugs.com, and specifically Lipitor, I can copy the URL or the address of the website. And since I've copied the URL and the address of that website from drugs.com, I can paste it in here, click Cite This, and what EasyBib does is grab the pertinent or important information for that website. But what it also does is, this is very important, it asks you to fill in some red highlighted areas that are essential to any correct APA citation. So if you go back to your website, you can say, okay, there is a date of publication. It was last revised in February 16th of 2012. I'm finding that right here. So if we remember, we can say, okay, February 2012. Say February 2012. And then obviously the date access, this is the date that you're looking at the site. So May 2nd, 2012. Once you've satisfied with all that information, you hit Create Citation. And what EasyBib does is generate a citation according to the APA format. You're going to want to double check that this is following the rules and guidelines that your instructor has provided with you, but for the most part you should be able to generate an accurate APA citation using EasyBib. Good luck this semester.